De communiquer avec les gens, partager ma culture à travers ma musique, à travers mes chansons, à travers mes sentiments.
Joshua,
Hi, Selwyn.
can you
What's
hear
going
me?
on?
All right, good. Let's get started. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Selwyn. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. And I want to thank you very much for taking this time to speak with me. Let me just jump right in, Joshua. What is accurate when people close to you describe you?
Pardon me?
What is accurate with the way people close to you describe you?
People describe me as a hard worker,
Hmm.
very charismatic, and also honest. Very honest, open in terms of the business sense, but on the personal side, a little more introverted. But generally, people describe me as a hard worker.
As a
That's
hard
one of
worker.
the
Yeah.
yeah.
I've had the privilege of meeting you this year, actually, and I can testify to that. Straightforward, very
Thank you.
friendly, very brilliant. And
Thank
it's
you.
that some of that brilliance I want to tap into this afternoon because you're young. How old are you now, Joshua? If you don't mind.
I'm 26 years
You're
old now.
26 years old. You're in business, in your family's business.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about the family business? Why you're still there? A lot of young people, some young people probably would have been just hanging out, doing things, but you work hard. Tell us a little bit about the business and why you stick around.
Well, the family business was founded by my mother, Rose Ramdehol. It's called Rose Ramdehol Auto Sales.
Mhm.
It was founded in November of 1990 when my mother was actually pregnant with me because I was born 1991 May. And it's in the auto industry, selling retail cars throughout Guyana. And she's still is, I believe, but definitely in the 90s, one of the only female auto dealers as well. Um, excuse me.
Mhm.
So we've been around about 26, 27 odd years. And I'm one of five children as well. I have four older sisters as well. So one of the well, throughout childhood, pretty much grew up around the business. I would be here playing downstairs while my mother was working, or just around the office, listening, observing. Sometimes I would very fond of cricket, so I would take the desk drawers, I would take the ruler out and go to the back, find something to hit. Um, Being around the business, I definitely saw a lot, learned a lot. I had no idea growing up this is what I would want. It takes a long time. It's important to note it takes a very long time to find yourself. And life is a continuous learning process. So some of us never truly find ourselves, but you have to keep working at it. After high school, I did A levels, and then after A levels, well, while I was doing A levels working here, from the age of 16, I started working here. Not as a manager, I started initially in charge of maintenance and working on the senior sales rep. Uh, so I worked my through the company, learning a lot of initiatives from the age 16 to 18. I then left to do gemology. I actually did gemology specializing in diamonds. So I did that in Miami for a year. It was two year course, sorry. I actually wrapped it up in a year and maybe 2 months. After that, well, all of my sisters were older. After that, I did not intend to come back to run the business or to be involved, but there was definitely a need for someone to continue the company or to a fresh insight of youth in the company. And the reason I chose to move back to Guyana to work in the family business under my mom at the time, who is now semi-retired, not retired. So she's still active uh, in the business somewhat, not day-to-day management, but still active. So I chose to move back here. That was 2011, and I've been working ever since in business.
What would you say? What would you say is one of the most important lessons you have learned from your mother in business?
Working with her, we work in an industry here in Guyana where there are all sorts of characters. So working with her, it didn't take me long. From the age of 16, even when I was abroad, we would Skype, I would be involved somewhat. Working with her, I saw definitely integrity and customer service. She always pushed the customer is never wrong. That's the first thing. And the customer has the final, all right. Once the customer is happy, she's happy. Those were one of the things she always said to me, regardless of the circumstance. Once the customer is happy, she's happy.
I,
So definitely integrity. Go ahead.
I understand you've decided to get into I wonder where this noise is coming from. That you've decided to get into the motorcycle business. Was this your first business venture? And can you tell us a bit about that journey?
Well, in 2000, first of all, I've tried many business ventures from the age of 14, actually. When I was 14 years old, I borrowed $25,000 from my mother and I bought a cell phone and I resold it. So I've been trying all sorts of things from a very young age, several of which have worked for a period of time and then failed. I tried in areas of auto spares. I tried electronics. I even tried diamonds and gold at one point, all of which did not work out. But I kept working at it. Failure is a natural part of success, actually. Without no, it's very rare for someone to be successful at the first thing they do. They're definitely extremely unique to achieve that. But failure is a natural part of success, so it's important to keep working. So throughout the business, I've always working here. I've always been looking at expanding or looking at new ventures to complement the auto sales, which is also highly competitive industry in Guyana. So it's always important to keep the edge in that area. But in 2015, I went to Panama just scouting for another opportunity, and I came across retail motorcycles. There were several brands I came across, and a light bulb moment went off a little bit in my head, as with a few other products, but light bulbs went off. So after I was there, I came back, did a local investigation, and it was found that there's definitely a possibility of having motorcycles here. But choosing a brand would be important as well. So when I scouted for a brand, it was important that the company paralleled ours in many ways in terms of um, integrity and a quality product and excellent customer service and after sales service and throughout honesty, integrity and honesty. So I did a lot of research and I came across Hero. We have a lot of Chinese motorcycles here, but the quality is not so much on par with like the Japanese models. So I came across Hero, which is manufactured out of India. And I spent some time reading on them. I had no idea. I had never heard of Hero prior to finding them. So I did a lot of research on them. They were awarded for many green initiatives and several awards in India for being manufactured there. They're also the largest motorcycle manufacturer in the world, manufacturing some 7 million motorcycles just last year. Market share in India as well as in 36 countries globally, and that's rapidly expanding. They're on an aggressive campaign globally. So I was still on border with what to choose. I took some time, maybe about 4 months. But then the CPL came up, which is the Caribbean Premier League, and I'm a big fan of cricket. And it's called Hero CPL. So again, light bulbs went off, and I made the connection. Uh, that Hero was a sponsor. So one night, I think around 2 a.m., I just got into bed. I'm like, I'm going to contact these people, and I called continuously until I got onto the correct people. They directed me which office I need to contact. And I learned that there isn't anyone in Guyana, a representative, or the Caribbean, but they're not so much interested in the Caribbean because of there are only 30 million odd people living in the Caribbean. So I immediately said, here's what I'm interested. I would like to not only be the dealer for Guyana, but the Caribbean.
Wow.
This was 2000. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead. No, no, you go ahead.
This was 2016 August, if I'm correct. This was followed several meetings, online conferences, video chats, and a lot of submissions, proposals. I also had to do an extensive local research on the motorcycle industry, both in Guyana and a few Caribbean islands, Trinidad, Jamaica, Suriname. Then they sent representatives here, and they liked what they saw. They said, okay, we're going to invite you up to India to discuss openly there, and then we'll take it from there. However, there was a launch in Argentina in January of this year, and they chose to kill two birds with one stone, invite me there while they're taking care of the official launch in Argentina. So I was very skeptical to go actually because it had been already 7 months. Many times I thought to stop pursuing it because they would always come back with, we need this, we need something else. They seem a bit uninterested at some time, for some time. So I was very skeptical about if I should go to Argentina because it was expensive to go there, the trip and the cost and everything. And I consulted my mom. I told her she's also my advisor. Any issue I have, I can go to her, business or personal. And I asked her if she thinks I should go or just maybe start looking at another brand. And she said, you already invested so much time. You went to Panama to look for new business. If you don't go, you'll never know. So just go. And I took her advice and I went, and I have no regrets with going. When I got there and I realized the magnitude of Hero, then I understood why they were not so interested in the Caribbean or a very small market, because their operation is huge. So we met in India. I then found out that the company is very family oriented, even though it's a multinational organization with operations globally as well as factories in Colombia. I found out that it's a very family oriented business. It's run by two brothers, and it was previously run by the father, the founder, who unfortunately passed away. And personal connection is very important to them. They actually have to meet you before you are awarded the rights, because they like that personal feel, which we like as well, to interact with every customer or representative to that extent. Even our customers here at the office, I could easily have a sales rep channel the transaction and never meet the customer, but it's important to have that personal touch. So the rest from there is pretty much history. I was awarded the exclusive rights for Guyana, Suriname, and the English Caribbean. And we launched in August, so it took about a year. We launched in August here in Guyana, and we have plans. We already have 8 dealers countrywide. We have plans to, by next August, have 25 dealers countrywide and to gain significant market share here in Guyana. And after 1 year, we'll start to look at other markets like Jamaica and Suriname.
I am curious about a couple of things. Um, One, you persevered in spite of all the challenges, and you finally got through. I am curious about that perseverance because the general thought belief is that young people get distracted, and when things are not working out, they turn away. But here
Yeah.
you are in your early 20s, and you persevered. Now, when you reflect on your path, on your journey towards where you are right now, what lessons you personally have learned from this particular journey?
Well, this particular journey with Hero, I would say it's just the beginning. Even though it took me a lot of hard work to get here, it's just the beginning. With my mom, I saw many years of several challenges. I mean, she was running this business with 5 of us and working every day, taking care of us, making sure we were okay. So many of the challenges I face whenever I'm having a difficult time, I would think of her and the challenges she would have faced, and it's minuscule compared to that.
Mhm.
So definitely it's important to have a mentor that you can look at to say, talk to, or um, to compare your struggles with, I should say. And that's definitely one of the things young people need, because we have many distractions. We have technology. Our life. It's very easy to get distracted and to give up and to get comfortable as well. So I would say definitely to have a role model to look up to, and just hard work. There's nothing that can substitute for hard work, and never to give up. Never to give up. The glass is always half full. It's never half empty. Despite of what challenges you may face, it's important to stick it out. Even if you're failing, like I mentioned, failure is a part of the journey.
And you're 26 years old. I'm really hopeful for Guyana. You know, I wonder, what do you see in Guyana, if at all? Because you were in Miami, you did gemology, yet you came back,
Yeah.
right? You came back to Guyana, and you decided to deepen your roots there. You're in college, right? You're at the university studying economics, um, and
Yeah.
obviously you're seeing things in Guyana that some of us, I guess my generation or older, perhaps are not seeing. But what is it you believe that you and your generation and other young people are seeing in Guyana that you think, if we are not seeing it, but you think we should look at, what is it about Guyana that you're seeing?
Well, I always say, even if you check my hashtags on Instagram, anytime I post something, there's always a hashtag of paradise. Guyana, paradise. Guyana has a lot of challenges. First, let me just take you back a bit. I had no intentions of doing economics at UG in 2010. It's because of Guyana that I actually decided to go to UG and to further my studies. I was okay from 2010 to about 2013, 14, just in business. But being here in Guyana and seeing, it's almost, it's a, we're a third world developing country at the moment. So we have a far way to go. We've only been independent for 50 odd years. There are many opportunities, not just in business here, but to find a place for you, even if you're not Guyanese, to move here. You can find a place that you can feel at peace and that you're making a difference and you're being successful or impacting on someone else's life as well, which is important while we're here on earth to positively affect change, whether it be in our country or just helping a stranger on the street. So around 2013, I began as we mature. I began to see that there's a lot here I can do. But I first of all I need to have a degree from the university, especially in economics. Guyana has there's a far we can go in terms of our social structure as well as capitalists. We're a very young country. But for the youths here, oftentimes we tend to look at the government, oh, the government is this, the government is that. But if we can firstly focus on ourselves and just continuously work hard every day, we'll get to the place that we need to be, not only for ourselves, but for our country. So I would, and I'm not the only one seeing this. There are a lot of young people here. I meet them at UG. I meet them on the street, who we're very hopeful. They're highly optimistic culture here. Of we can do this. We can achieve this. I mean, if something is happening in the political arena that's negative, young people feel it. That goes to show the connection we have with our country and our system. So young people are definitely the future of Guyana, but we need to have the opportunities created, the mechanisms in place for them to they have the natural ability, but nurture is important.
So it is not
So,
it
pardon me.
is not so much money. It's not so much money that they need, but guidance and structure
Guidance
and direction
and structure and systems.
and
For
system.
example, one of the economies that I looked at while studying economics of my own is the Nordic capitalism or Nordic social democracy, which is adopted by the Northern European countries, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, I think Iceland as well as is in there. These this this system was adopted roughly about 30 years ago, and they're seeing high success rates of using this. They have the highest standards of living globally. Uh, the life expectancy has gone up. General happiness and welfare is there. The system itself, I think, would be we can learn a lot here with that studying that particular system. Their focus is they're not socialist or capitalist. It's a mixed economy, but their main focus is in social aspects, social welfare programs, education, healthcare. They actually you can go from kindergarten to university for free. They will pay you monthly to while you attend university in their country, and healthcare is free and all these other systems. Now, of course, as a government, this of Guyana, it will take a lot of finance. It will take money to do this. But we're at the point here where it's very possible to have the money to take this path. We have a new industry coming in the oil sector from 2020. From 2020, we'll have a lot more revenues as a country. I would say if we can focus those revenues on a better structured educational system from the bottom up, like your prior speaker mentioned, it's important. I guess it's important to have that and general health care and well-being. I think in 30 to 50 years, when that generation takes over, everything will take care of itself because you will have a highly educated population, standards of living will be high, and literacy will it will also be it will almost be like a multiplier effect. The small problems will take care of themselves once you take care of the big problem, you know? And having a highly educated population will take care of problems we don't even know we have here in Guyana. So it's
Josh,
important for us to have, I think we already have the willing young people. The youths are very willing here. We need a system where whether you're born very, very poor or very rich from a family or of wealth, you have the same opportunities and avenues to receive an education.
I had a question. I had a question for you. What would you ask or what would you say to the president of Guyana if you had his ears? But you have said it in your response just now. But before in closing, I want to ask you, what would you like your customers to think when they hear the word hero or the words Rose Ramdehol Auto Sales?
I would like our customers to know or to think once they hear the words hero or Rose Randy Hall, the two would become parallel. There is an affordable product, a quality product, as well as an excellent service for both motor cars, used motor cars, as well as motorcycles. And in comparison to other brands, the quality is right there. One of the things we say is that you have a Japanese innovation manufactured in India at a Chinese price. So you have something there that can be affordable for everyone, and even it's not just on a cash basis. If you come into us, we'll see an avenue through the bank. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen for you to have that mobility that so many of us need. It's difficult to afford public transport year round. It's a lot cheaper if you can own and operate a motorcycle, especially one that gives you durability and affordability, such as Hero. In a country like Ghana, you can save a lot when compared to using public transportation. And we're also hoping, well, we're going to expand into other islands because Euro is not in other islands to create the force behind mobility for everyone and to continue to be the motorcycle manufacturer. So I would love for Rose Ramsey Hall. It's a name, but it's also a brand almost to have that being a household name not only in Guyana but throughout the Caribbean.
Joshua, we have run out of time. I don't know why I'm getting this feedback when I speak, but we have run out of time. But I want to say to you that God bless your mother and the sacrifice she's made to raise you. I didn't get a chance to ask you about your other siblings, but just
Definitely.
sitting here listening to you tells me that you're surrounded by goodness. You mentioned that your mother's one of her greatest principles is integrity, and the
Yeah.
customer is always right. And just listening to young people like you here on Sunday afternoon gives me a lot of hope. Just now, I didn't want you to
Yeah.
stop when you were talking about what the policies that Guyana can adopt in terms of transforming the country and young
I
people.
didn't want to stop either. I didn't
Yeah.
want to stop either, but I knew from the time.
Yes, time is of the essence. So I want to thank you. I have to run because Renee is
Yeah.
waiting. But thank you very much, Joshua.
I must say thank you very much as well for having me on your show. It was an honor and a privilege, and
You,
we'll talk again soon.
you're welcome. All right. Bye
Well,
bye.
have a great day.
You too.
Take care.
Bye.